is in glory. My home 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 is in glory. My home, I'm just passing through. My home is in glory. You know this is not my home. My home is in glory. This is not my home. My home is in glory. You do know that we're simply just pilgrims, just passing through this barren land. And I know life throws its challenges at us, throws its struggles at us. But can I tell you, if you just hold on a little while, if you do like James said, if you just persevere, if you just press your way just for a little while longer, can I tell you, the struggles of this life are going to come to an end, because this is not our home. We're struggling and striving to get to that place that the Bible calls the land of no more sickness, no more dying, no more heartaches, no more disappointments, no more tears. And I don't know about you, but every day, like the old folk used to say, I'm sending up my timber. Every day, every tear that I shed, I'm sending up timber. Every pain that I go through, I'm just sending up my timber. And I wish I had just a few folk that could testify, Pastor, I'm on my way through the ups and downs, through the tears and the smiles. I'm on my way, and I don't know about you, but when I get to glory, I can testify that Brother Joseph right now, he's glad to see some folk, but most of all, he wanted to see Jesus, the one that died for him, the one that died on the cross for him. And when I see Jesus, I'm not going to tell him how you talked about me, not going to tell him how you lied on me, but I will tell him thank you. Woo, God. Yo, Paul, I got to. Let me just be obedient. There's a purpose for this family being here today. It's not by accident. It's not by coincidence. But the word that this family needs to hear, and not just this family. I came, y'all ain't got to sit down. James said in James chapter 1 to count it all joy when you fall into divers temptation. He said, count it all joy when you fall into various temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. And I think I'm in the right place because James was writing to that scattered group of Christians that had been displaced because of their beliefs. They had been scattered abroad into various areas because of their relationship with Jesus Christ. And many of them were literally dying at the stake because of their faith. And James writes to them and tells them to count it all joy. In other words, you may be going through, but while you're going through, you don't have to walk around with your head hung down. You don't have to walk around wallowing in your misery. But James said, when you face these many various trials, walk through those trials with joy. Walk through those trials with a smile on your face. Even though you're tore up on the inside, you still understand that what God is doing, God is working out his perfect will in your life. And somebody in this room needs to understand that what you're going through right now, guess what? It's not by accident. It's not by coincidence. God has brought you to this place and point in your life because he's working his will out in your life. And let me tell you, when you are a Christian, when you're saved, that does not mean that every day is going to be sunny. That does not mean that every day is going to be perfect. But as a Christian, guess what? Satan wants to destroy you. Satan wants to kill you. He wants to take your destiny away from you. He wants you to stop serving God. So Satan will throw everything he has in his arsenal at you. But what you've got to understand, as a mature believer, you go through those struggles with a smile on your face. And guess what? When you don't understand what's going on, you got to do what James said. James said, if you don't understand it, or if you lack wisdom, ask God and he will liberally give it to you. What does that mean? God will make you understand while you're going through what you're going through. And I don't know about you today, but guess what? It does not matter what storms come in my life. It does not matter what struggles come in my life. I'm going to do like Paul, and I'm going to press my way because I've got a goal in front of me, and my goal may not be earthly, but my goal is in glory. And all I want to know is, are you willing to go through the storms? Are you willing to go through the pains of life? Because guess what? Those trials are going to work patience. I told a group of people, be careful about asking God for patience. Because God won't just decide, I'm going to give you patience, Sister Bernice. But what God will do, God will put you in a position where you got to learn how to be patient. And y'all wonder, I'm not picking on her, but y'all wonder why Miss Bernice can smile in spite of the pain. It's because God has brought her to a level in him that she knows he knows what he's doing. And somebody here today, been struggling with some things, been dealing with some things. If y'all waiting on me to get on Dan, I ain't gonna ride Dan. Somebody needs to hear this word. Somebody needs to know, because guess what? Life is a struggle. Every day we're dealing with something. Every day you turn on the TV, it's one thing or another. Every time you turn on the radio, they're talking about something going on somewhere. But guess what? Many of us ain't got to go too many places. If we check our own front door, if we check our own place where we reside, we're dealing with some struggles. We're dealing with some pains. But can I tell you, if God brought you to it, he's going to bring you through it. If God has allowed it to come in your life, he's already equipped you with what you need. And understand, the goal may not be here. You may not get it all here. But one day, one day, I'm going to be able to go to that place. One day I'm going to get to where I got to deal with no more pains and no more suffering, no more trials. Because one day the goal is in glory. God takes us through 3 stages of life. He takes us through justification. That's when we're saved. But then once we're saved, he takes us to where many of us are today. It's called sanctification. Sanctification is where it's a process. And you do know this Christian life is a process. It's not something you get overnight. It's a process. And every day he's working on us. Every day he's taking us through and he's working on us. And it does not matter who you are. You have not arrived yet. I don't care how holy you think you are. I don't care how mature you think you are. Can I tell you, you still have room for improvement. Let me throw this out there. I used to think the biggest room in the church was the sanctuary. But I discovered something. The biggest room in the church is the room of improvement. And all of us have room for improvement. That's why we go through those various trials. But remember, I told you that God takes us through 3 processes. Justification. We're now in the process of sanctification. But then lastly, when you've arrived at what James said, that full, when you've reached full maturity, that's when you're in the stage of glorification. That's when you close your eyes on this side, because it's at that point where you're now living a life of perfection. But I wanted you to understand today that all of us go through things. All of us go through trials. All of us go through tribulations. But understand, like James said, those trials come only to make us strong. And so today, somebody here today, I want our deacons to come. I want our deacons to come. Somebody here today is struggling with the decision to give their life to Jesus. Today, there may be someone who's unsaved. But I want you to know that you can be justified. And what that means is, it's just like a court of law. When you've committed a crime and you come in the presence of the judge, there's a jury over there that's ready to convict you. But when you come before the judge says, I'm going to take what you've done and I'm going to throw your case out and I'm going to give you another chance. That's what justification is. God is the judge. And when you're born in this world, you're born into sin. All of us come into the world with the seed of sin already implanted in us. And so it is, as we live life, we live and we come to that moment where we've got to make the ultimate decision of giving our life to Christ. And so it is, when we give our life to Christ, we come before the great judge God. And even though there's a jury called church folk, I mean people, that want to convict you, God says, I'm going to take what you've done and I'm going to cast it into the sea of forgetfulness, never to be brought up again. But there's a prerequisite to me doing that. That's what he said. You've got to believe in my son Jesus. And you've got to believe what he did when he gave his life on the cross. That's real simple. All you got to do is believe that Jesus lived, died, was buried, and rose again. And then you can be saved. And if you're here today, you've never been saved. You've never gone through the first act of obedience of salvation, which is baptism. If you've never been baptized, right now, where you sit right now, I want you to pray this prayer. Lord, I am a sinner. Come into my life. I believe that you lived, you died, you were buried, and rose again. I'm confessing you as my Savior. If you pray that prayer right where you're sitting, it is our belief that you are now saved. I want everybody to stand all across the room. If you prayed that prayer, I want you to just come down the aisle. If you don't mind, I want you to just walk down the aisle. Because we're concerned about your soul's salvation. If you die today, where will you spend eternity? If you're here today and you pray that prayer, I want you to step out on faith. Maybe you're here today. You're already saved. But yet you're out of fellowship. The relationship is there, but the fellowship has been broken. You need a church home. You want to get back into right relationship with God. You want to make Mount Pisgah your place of worship. This invitation is for you. I want you to step out on faith. Maybe you're here today just in need of prayer. The relationship is intact. The fellowship is intact. But yet you just need someone to intercede on your behalf. Our deacons, ministers in the aisles to pray with you right where you are. This invitation is extended. We don't invite you to a church, but we invite you to a relationship with Jesus Christ. Won't you come? Come on, come come on, just now. God bless you. Come to Jesus. God bless you. Oh, God bless you. Come on, come on, just now. Come to Jesus. Oh, come on, just now. He will save you. Yes, He will. Oh, just now. He will save you. Just now, only trust Him. Yeah. Just now, only trust Him. Just now, He's able. Oh, is there another? Just now, He's able. Just now, He is able. Yes, He is. Just now, come to come on, just now. Come to Jesus. Just now, only trust Him.
We have Charlie and Aronica Young coming to members of MtPisgah.
Amen. 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 God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.